People who report pictures on Facebook. Just stop, okay? What satisfaction are you getting from that? Because the picture doesn't offend you. You're just trying to piss people off. Okay? When there's pictures of Rihanna running around all over Facebook of her literally wearing a mesh, not even a mesh dress, just mesh and glitter, that's considered fashionable. You can see both of her, I mean, full on nipplage action going on. That's not considered offensive? Most of the time, whenever women breastfeed, you can't even see their nipple anyway, because the baby's head's in the way. Stop doing that. God, that is the most aggravating thing. Oh my God, just stop. Please, for the love of God, just please stop. Just ignore that you saw it. And for people who say, oh, well, you know, I don't want my husband seeing. And, honey, if you think that your husband is not going to be able to control himself, but to run over and do something sexual because he saw another woman's breasts, honey, it's time for you to get a new husband, okay? Or your kids, for that matter. My teenager doesn't need to see that. Honey, eventually he's going to see a boob, and he's going to have to figure out what they're actually used for, because they're actually used to feed babies, okay? That's really their sole purpose, is to do that. Really, 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 their sole purpose is just to feed babies. That's what they do. Newsflash, okay? Okay. Speaking of the sexual aspect, I always love whenever people say that women breastfeed to get off on a sexual way. People like you, just please don't procreate, okay? Because let me tell you the facts about breastfeeding. The first 3 weeks, even month, even past that for some people, is the most excruciating pain you can imagine. I mean, it's ridiculous sometimes. It really is. It really, really is. Because you don't think a baby can suck that hard. You really don't. Until you have one stuck to you. It hurts. Especially whenever they get distracted. You get niplash, right? And they're on there and it's good latch and you're like, okay, this is fine, whatever, you know, feeding, doing your thing. And then all of a sudden they see something, they get distracted, and it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. That's exactly, I mean, there's no other reaction, okay? The only pleasure that I can say that you get out of it, and it is nowhere near sexual pleasure at all, okay, folks? There's no sexual pleasure whatsoever in this at all. Oh, my son set the alarm on my phone. I'll get it later. The only pleasure I can say is when you are so full and your child, if you're on a good schedule, your child happens to sleep for an extra hour for that nap, and you're dying for them to wake up so that they can eat, so that you can relieve that pressure. I can't even, you know, the only way that I can explain that pressure is if you, it's like a bad Looney Tunes cartoon is exactly what it's like. It's almost like your nipples are going to just pop off and go bouncing around the room and like cause bodily harm. Like it's a risk. Like it's a risk, and you're dying for your kid to wake up because you just need to relieve the pressure. That's the only relief, physical relief, that I can even equate to anything. I mean, there's nothing sexual about breastfeeding, okay? Nothing. Just, there's no sexual pleasure at all. Grab a you have a vacuum cleaner at your house? I'm sure you do. It's got a hose, right? You know a hose? Grab the hose and stick it on your nipple. And then turn the vacuum on. And then pop it off while the vacuum's on. And you'll get a rough idea of what that first couple weeks feels like breastfeeding. But make sure you stick it on there and reposition it. And then pop it off every, you know, maybe minute or two for about an hour. And then switch sides. Because when those first 3 weeks, it literally feels like you are never going to get this baby off of you. but that's what we do. This is coming from and I breastfed my first one for 2 months and my second one for 3 months. I dried up like a well with my second one. I did fenugreek. I did everything. I did the tea. I did, you know, lactation cookies. I did everything I could. I dried up. There was nothing I could do about it. That's fine. I'm over it. I'm in my, you know, my first one, I formula fed from 2 months, and I think mainly it was just because I didn't try hard enough, and that was my fault, which, whatever, okay. I mean, no love lost there. He got the first milk, got the first 2 months. It's better than nothing. I'll take it. But I don't understand why this is such a problem, and I really wish that more women would feel empowered to breastfeed, and we need to really find a way to get more facts out to people, because there's a lot of myths, you know, the sexual pleasure and the pumping, and you know, just people being ignorant. It's just it's ridiculous, and I really wish that more people would just shut the hell up. Seriously. If you're I don't understand how women can be offended by breastfeeding, because you have boobs. You see them every day. When you change your clothes, when you put on a bra, when you see them every day. You have boobs. How are you offended by someone else's? And men, how are you offended by someone else's? If you're a straight man, you've probably seen a few. Seriously. How are you offended by that? I don't understand what's happening. Just, if you're only comfortable wearing a cover to breastfeed, you wear that cover, girl, and you rock it. You do it. If you are only comfortable pumping at your house and bringing your breast milk out, you do that. That's fine. If you choose not to breastfeed and you formula feed from birth, that's fine too. Do whatever you want to do. But don't judge other people on how they want to feed their kid. Oh, my baby was formula fed. They're healthy, and that's fine. Mine are too. That's great. Like, it just blows my mind that people are, it's 2014, guys, come on. Really? We have a problem with breastfeeding, but there's pictures of, you know, Rihanna running around half naked, and we're okay with that, but we're not okay with breastfeeding, which is what boobs were made to do. It's really just super aggravating, and however you want to feed your kid, that's great. Just anybody who doesn't have children or has children and is offended by breastfeeding, just keep your mouth shut, please. For the greater good, just shut up and color. Okay? Alright. So that concludes my ideas on breastfeeding. And I'm going to try to post this tonight, and we're going to just see how this goes. And I hope you enjoyed watching a 20-minute video that was really only supposed to be like 10, but I don't know how to shut up, and I kind of veered from, yeah, I veered, but I ended up talking about everything I wanted to, I hope, and that's it. Alright, have a great breastfeeding day. Bye.